where we look at the major issues in the political space. There's a lot to talk about today, and so we're going to get into discussing these issues very, very fast. There's no time to waste because critical issues is the ruling party, the ADC. We are now all lawyers. We now have to begin subject to different kinds of interpretation, and would I say it's getting more interesting or it's getting more confusing depending on which side. That's the that's the reality of our democracy. There's nothing nonsense about it. This is 26 years of sustained democracy, and the feeling and expectations would have been that look would have made some. With me in the studio, Nurdin Adigbenu is also here with me in the studio. Olalekoni is going to be joining us via the phone lines. He insisted that he just has to be a part of the show. It's been a while, and he will be so interested in also joining us, to discuss some of these issues. We're going to have an interesting conversation this evening. The first issue for consideration this evening, Electoral Act Bridge. Senior Advocates of Nigeria, SANS, different Senior Advocates of Nigeria, lawyers disagree over the role of the courts, or would you say the judiciary, in leadership disputes within political parties. There's a lot, a lot to say about how there seems to be a lot of interference from the judiciary when it comes to internal affairs of political parties. Six, about what the role of the courts will be, whether the courts have any role to play when it comes to the issues of party politics, when it comes to leadership issues or internal affairs of the party. We have different lawyers who steer clear from internal affairs of political parties. We have a lawyer who seems to have an interesting viewpoint. The Electoral Act cannot just be interpreted in a blanket form. That in fact, the courts indeed have roles to play, and that look, we should not just interpret that section of the Electoral Act. That we have the sound bite, and I think Barrister Curtis will get us deeper into that conversation as to what the Electoral Act says. I'm going to try and read out that section of the Electoral Act, that section 83. What does it say? We read it line by line, but with the way side to what the Electoral Act is saying as it concerns that. So what does the law really say? What should be the role of the courts when it comes to internal affairs of political parties? I will not deliberately talk about all the other man who is now in court, the third people who are now in court. What is antebellum status quo antebellum? Because
that is the fallback position.
Yes.
In case the banana field doesn't work.
Well, people will tell you they will tell you that because it appears that look,
we know what is going on.
Well,
we see the movement around these people.
Well,
by associates very close. See, look. Why is Lamida Papa and Julius Abure no longer talking?
Maybe they are tired.
Their love for Nigerian democracy died.
Maybe they are tired.
Who is talking again? We don't know.
How you doing, Olalekoni?
Good evening, Charles.
Yes,
good evening. Part of this evening.
Yes, good evening. It's nice to have you on the show. Well,
thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
So we're going to look at these different angles to this issue.
You have to argue. You have to argue INEC to do what is right.
Well, I hope.
Bala,
no, if you go me, yes.
I say I hereby argue INEC. So you have to argue INEC.
No. You see. We've seen enough of this comedy, and I think I'm tired, really. I'm tired because it appears that no matter what we say or how well we try to bring this conversation on the basis of common sense, it's not going to help.
Yes. Now you have not argued INEC.
No. You see, if you talk about Balano Fugo,
because he didn't write that speech.
He didn't write the speech. But look, a basic thing as urge. So if he cannot if he cannot pronounce the word urge, and then when he got to status quo antebellum, It's turning to anti-Bello. I say, well, this.
But he tried. What's the difference between Bellum and
Bello? But so that's why I'm not going to bother myself really, because we are now all lawyers. People are interpreting court orders based.
Have you ever asked yourself,
yes,
why it is so hard for the court or the judge to say, my order is that the state of things as they are now be maintained until I decide on the case?
I was listening to Wİ and one of the things he said, a lawyer too, we saying that, look, maybe it's time for our judges, to stop using Latin words, just speak in English and be very clear.
It looks like the Latin confuses them. But however, this is what I think is the situation.
Yes.
We stayed in this studio that if a man is pretending to be sleeping, you can't wake him up. There is always a modus operandi.
Okay.
That modus operandi goes this way. Someone goes to the court.
Yes.
The court makes an order in Latin. Status quo, belli anthem. Okay? They understand what it means. But then they go back and say, you know what? Status quo simply means the state of things 5 years ago, before this group of people emerged. And because they control the institutions, they then tell the institutions, this is the slant of interpretation that you are going to accept. So the institutions move and do that interpretation. And then the rest of us are aghast.
So can we have a situation where the courts just speak simple, straightforward English?
If the court says, look, you know what? The current situation before the suit was filed,
yes,
is what I mean by status quo. Is that clear to everybody? Then let everybody say, yes, sir. Okay. Like primary school and their teacher.
Maybe
that will help.
Maybe that will help.
But then, because the deliberateness with which this carry this out,
yes,
you just wonder if anything will stop them at all.
So because
no matter how straightforward the ruling is or the rulings are,
they have a tendency to misinterpret it.
They just find a way to give their own interpretation. They slant it just to be.
So Latin or no Latin, people will still interpret the way they want to interpret court orders.
If the parties are Yorubas, the judge should speak Yoruba. If they are Igbos, he should speak.
But even if it's delivered in Yoruba, it can still be misinterpreted.
If the Hausa, of course, then they will say whether what he said meant to go or come.
And then anyways, that's why I've decided that, look, on the show today, we'll just look at the section 83 of the Electoral Act, the argument of the NBA, the argument of lawyers like Fᴜᴜ SAN, and the argument of Babatunde Ogungbamila, who is saying that, we have to be careful. If I'm going to play the soundbite, and that will get us talking about this particular part of the conversation for the evening, and then we're going to go to the presidential candidate of the XDP in the last election, Prince Adewale Adebayo, who has also said something very interesting. I'm happy that Olalekon is here with us on the show. Barrister Curtis appears to be a renegade member of the party, so they might not want to.
When they are tired of me, they will expel me.
And I don't maybe they will eventually expel you from the party. But Wale Adebayo, Prince Adewale Adebayo, a very brilliant man. I've listened to him severally. And what he has said is that, look, Nigeria is facing the threat of one man rule and not one party rule. That, look, everybody's talking about the possibility of us descending into a one party system, a one party rule. But what we are faced with, the threat that faces Nigeria's democracy at this time, is a one man rule. And added to that threat is the fact that, look, members of the APC are going to be the first victims of that threat. That, look, they are also going to be a major part of the people that will suffer, and in fact that they are already suffering from it.
Exactly, that's what I'm going to say. They are suffering.
But people have said, maybe, because what he's saying is that, look, you cannot give what you don't have. The APC is not a party with internal democracy, and that, look, it's part of what has become the culture.
We have internal democracy,
okay,
but it's Baba Sokwe
democracy. That cannot be internal democracy.
Well, so the parties are allowed to choose their style of democracy.
Okay.
You know, parties are the laboratories of democracy.
Yes.
That is where all the experiments and all of
organically
that
built
are done. And then they move to the practical aspect, which is when the government is formed.
Yes.
But apart from the APC, and I can say this to you, there is no political party in Nigeria
Yes.
that has actually engaged in internal democracy.
Okay.
And that is the irony of democracy. Why the political parties in Africa want democracy amongst the political parties,
but within the parties.
But within their own
Okay,
party.
so we're going to...
And this was what led to one of the biggest problems the Democratic Party faced in America, whereby you have they have a group of people that they call super delegates.
Delegates, yes.
They don't have to be elected by anyone, and they can
just maintain that
position of the party wants. Bernie Sanders fought that so hard to the point that the Democratic platform has now changed some of the rules.
And that was what can even produce somebody like the New York guy.
Mamdani.
Mamdani, yeah.
So you now have Democratic Party essentially doing either it is a caucus or a direct or open primary.
There is, yeah.
You know, and then the weight of the dead hands of the super delegates
Yeah.
has now been
reduced to allow for more internal democracy. But I want us to really discuss this problem of internal democracy, and are we really on the verge or already into it with the ruling party? Is this just one man deciding for everybody in the party? I'm sure Lalikonyi will get. Maybe there are silent organs of the party that even this same man listens to. So it's also going to be a part of a conversation, because again, we are talking about what democratic culture in Nigeria, especially within the ruling party. And then finally, Lagos politics, my darling Lagos, is getting very interesting. And I think all eyes on the ruling party date. So of course you would expect that, look, everyone would be expecting, what would this party be doing? Who are they going to present? But again, whoever the APC presents has got an edge, whether you like it or not. Yes. So a lot of talk around who the president has endorsed. Right Honorable James.
In fact, distinguished
Right Honorable.
Let's have
no problem. Distinguished Right Honorable.
An incoming senator.
Does it? We just have,
have the honorary title.
But does he have any chieftaincy title anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
distinguished Right Honorable I Chief said, look, all my political structure behind the current deputy governor Obafemi.
Yeah, what he said.
Yes, he's put out a statement to say, look, he's going to be supporting the deputy governor, and Doy is saying, oh, the party does not have a preferred candidate here. So all that talk.
Is that one a member of the party?
He's a member of the party.
He joined
very
recently.
big question to ask.
He's a member of the party.
Because he joined recently.
Who is it to say that the party? Who is he? Which producer is it that knows better than those who owns the house?
Let me tell you, Jan, is somebody like, you know, our friend who went to contest for governorship of one state.
Yes.
And didn't even know where the party primary
was. But as of today, let me ask you a question, Oni, Mr. Oni.
Okay.
Is Dr. Aziz Olajide Adediran Jando a member?
The gate no gate.
He's a member. He's a member.
So
but when some people, he's a member. He's a new member. He's a new member. So when some people are talking in the party, when some people are talking in the party, I don't think it will mean that
wait, now calm. But do you also have new members of the party who also control parts of your party today?
Well,
party is it a state thing now?
Is Lagos APC different from the other APC?
Because we have governors who are strangers, complete strangers to your party.
That's why I said Lagos. That's why
it's about Lagos.
Okay. We don't have new members
that can control
about Lagos.
Okay.
And Jando is the member of the party in Lagos.
Okay, so let's just narrow it down to Lagos.
Because I will have said that I know somebody that is not in your party that is controlling the structure in a particular.
What about Wike? Is he a member of the
APC? Who says Wike is not a member of the APC?
He's a closet member of APC.
Okay. All right. So okay. So
are you saying Wike is not a member of the APC?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, you know. Okay, we leave it at that. But Jando is saying that there's a talk around Ambode coming back. You know that former governor is done only a single term, and that look, there could be the return of Ambode and calibrate, and then somebody comes up. In fact, for some of sources, what they are saying is that look, it could be Ambode Seyi Tinubu ticket. I don't know, but luckily with you, Barrister.
Does a small boy cry for the moon?
Well,
who will go up there and remove it and give him?
Barrister, anything can happen, really, don't you think?
Not with this man. Listen, someone who scorned you and you disagreed, it's not. He has nothing to look up to anymore. He will never compromise that situation. Those who are just, yes, he deserves it, but that possibility would have been higher if he lost an election to the opposing political party. Not necessarily that he fell out with the president
and the leadership structure.
Just like Fayemi.
But within the circumstances that led to
how he was not given the opportunity for a second term.
I want anybody to write today's date down.
Ambode can never be an option. Okay, all right. Again,
never risk it.
I like the fact that again we're already getting our people ready for the positions that will look watching the show already and already dropping their comments. I can already see the banter and the arguments going even ahead of our analysis this evening. That's the beauty of the show. We're also on YouTube, so you can be a part of the show on YouTube. Radio Garden is actively working, so you can also listen to the show via the Radio Garden platform. You can also listen via our website, www.mainlandfm.com. Just click on our live feed, and you'll be live to the show. We're going to open the phone lines eventually, to also allow for calls and contributions to all that we're going to say this evening. But let's just go straight to what the NBA is saying. It's very clear. They're talking about Section 83. Talked about several Supreme Court ruling on the fact that look, the courts have no jurisdiction.
So many of them.
So many cases. But Barrister, before I read Section 83, and I hope Olalekon is listening to us very clear. It's very clear wherever you are.
Yes, very clear.
Okay,
very clear.
Fantastic. So we've seen situations where the Supreme Court gave a ruling to political parties. I think the Labour Party matter has no jurisdiction. This is an internal party affair. And for us, meaning that look, the Supreme Court saying courts don't have jurisdiction on internal party affairs does not even solve the problem, because it now opens it up.
Anybody, so far they are members of the party.
And I mean, get out now.
And even that statement that courts do not have jurisdiction.
Yes,
that's not what the Supreme Court meant. The Supreme Court established clearly, that if it is when a political party does not comply with the
its own rules
of the party, rules of the party were not followed in reaching that decision, anybody who is unhappy can go to the court and say, even the party has not obeyed its own rule. That gives the court jurisdiction. But if things are done according to the rules of the party and the constitution of the party, and you are angry by the fact that you lost that election, you go to court and look for a means to challenge. The court said, look, the Supreme Court has said you cannot challenge the internal affairs of the party
if the rules are being followed.
You
see, Barrister, that's where the law, because that has been the David Mark people have gone to court again to challenge the Federal High Court the Federal High Court's jurisdiction
can be raised at any point of the trial.
Okay, now let's look at this, Barrister. Now, Section 83, and I want us to read it verbatim. Now, Section 83 of the Nigerian Electoral Act 2026 is about monitoring of political parties, and it provides as follows. Section 1 says the Commission shall keep records. Subsection 1, sorry. Shall keep, and I would appeal to whoever is calling on at this time to stop calling. We cannot pick our calls now. And basically what it will be doing, it will be interfering with Oni's call to us. So
it's interfering with internal affairs
of the radio station. So please don't call at this time. So subsection 1 says the Commission shall keep records of the activities of all the registered political parties. 2, subsection 2 says the Commission may seek information or clarification from any registered political party in connection with any activity of the political party which may be contrary to the provisions of the Constitution or any other. The Commission may direct the inquiry under subsection 2 to the chairman of the secretary or the secretary of the political party at the national, state, local or government or area or council or ward level, as the case may be. And then subsection 4, a political active given by the commission in conformity with the provisions of this section is liable to a fine not more than 1 million naira. Now, subsection 5 says, subject to the provision of subsection 3, no court in Nigeria, political party. Subsection 6 says, where such action is brought in negation of this provision. So, subsection 6A now says, no int and deliver it at the stage of final judgment and shall give accelerated hearing to the matter. And then subsection 6, on the counsel who file the action and not less than 10 million on the plaintiff, applicant, and in addition to payment to the commission of any cost, including solicitors' fees incurred by it, were joined as a party.
Please read subsection 3 again.
Now, let's go to subsection 3 now. And so subsection says the commission may direct state, local government, or area council or ward level, as the case may be.
There's subsection 6.
Now, subsection 6 now says, where such action is brought in negation to this provision.
Okay.
Subsection 6A now says, no interim or interlocutory injunction shall be entertained by the court.
I think it's 5. I wanted you to read.
Okay, let's go to 5.
5 made reference to 3.
Now, yes, it says, subject to the provisions of. Again, we want to appeal to whoever is calling us. I really don't know what it is.
You see, this is one of the reasons why Nigeria finds it difficult to make progress.
We are reading.
Thoughts.
Just calm down. Simple instruction. Listen, and then we open the phone lines and announce to you.
People that cannot obey traffic rules.
Now, subsection 5 says, subject to the provision of subsection 3, no court in Nigeria shall entertain jurisdiction over any suit or matter pertaining to the internal affairs of a political party.
Sorry, read subsection 3 again.
Okay.
I want to bring out the confusion.
So that
because this section in itself confuses everyone. It says the commission may direct its inquiry under subsection 2 to the chairman or secretary of the political party at the national, state, local government or area council or ward level, as the case may be. So
how does it relate to subsection 5?
Now, barrister, I've tried to even narrow it down to say that, look, this same law is saying the courts cannot entertain internal affairs of political matters of
law that says the court cannot inquire.
Exactly. That's where I'm going to.
In fact, even for the immunity clauses that political leaders enjoy,
yes,
the Supreme Court has said you can investigate.
You cannot take them to court. You cannot prosecute, but you can investigate. So, barrister, in this same section 83, the court that says you have. That's why people have said our laws are actually extremely confusing.
You know something?
Yes.
The FEC, Federal Election Commission,
yes,
of the United States, does not conduct election. Some of the things you read out here about how they monitor activities of political
parties here,
who is contributing money to the parties, all right? How is the party spending the money contributed? What amount of money are candidates raising? Who is contributing to the candidates? How much are they giving to the candidates? You understand? And how these are the responsibility of FEC. But the actual conduct of elections are carried out by local officials of the state parties.
Party members. In
fact, the Secretary of State, someone we would describe as the Secretary to the state government in Nigeria, is in charge of conduct of elections at the state level. And the local officials are party members, either Republicans or Democrats or independents or people who are sympathizers of political parties. But they still manage to do what is right for their state and for the country. And I've given this example in this studio. Trump's campaign fund. The Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, is a Republican who also contributed money to
Trump's campaign.
But these two guys superintended an election that their candidate lost. And in spite of the fact that the candidate wanted to intimidate them into changing the result,
they stood and did the right thing.
And say, you lost the election. Mr. President, don't let anybody deceive you. That's how people care about their country. They could have changed that result because of their political party affiliation. But they know that they needed to live for something bigger than themselves, for causes bigger than themselves. Now, when you come to Nigeria, the INEC has a combined role. Monitor the activities of the
and also conduct the elections.
Who is giving money to the political party? How is the party raising funds? You understand? How are the candidates spending money? But you know that the Nigerian INEC is not interested in that.
Spending money, okay.
They are not interested. In fact, the money you take from people, how you spend it, who is spending. Because if they look, they will find the political
overspending
money bags.
Of course.
Who are bringing in the money.
Money.
INEC is visited in conducting election. One man gives the command from Abuja and all the states obey. That is why it's possible to rig election in Nigeria. The problem that the current INEC chairman is going through is because of that role that he gets to conduct elections all over the country. But just imagine for a moment, and of course I know those who argue and say, the elections conducted by the state government.
I was going to say it that look, if we say INEC should not conduct the elections and we should give it to the state, we have already a sample.
So that's why,
and it's a disastrous result that we have.
People have said that the things that have worked in other parts of the world, even in other parts of Africa,
yes,
cannot work in Nigeria.
Why? Are we a different set of people?
Because the problem is that we have people who lack the moral spine to do what is right. This is the country where money is king. Once anybody is offered money,
that's all.
And this is what the current president believes. What money cannot solve, more money will solve it. Okay? So you find a situation where, and he didn't start this, he met this. This has become a culture in Nigeria. Everybody wants to live big and live fine. Drive around in a convoy of vehicles, called an honorable or whatever. So when you appoint people to institutions, to head institutions, because institutions cannot defend themselves.
Yes.
It's the same people that you have appointed the institutions that
will run these institutions
and ensure that the society makes progress. But you then have the same people folding to those in government. Because they cannot lose their jobs. And that is the problem we are facing. Now, if you look at the U.S. Constitution, I don't know if you have gone through the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah, a few times.
It's such a very simple document that you can, even if you give to a secondary school.
You can read through and just,
yes, when it talks about powers of the various levels of government. It says any power that has not been expressly given to the federal government belongs to the state.
Where it is not clearly stated that this belongs to the federal government. The state takes it over.
Belongs to the state. And the states have gone ahead to enact their own constitution to direct their own affairs.
Within their own
states.
Within their own states. That's why I said in this studio before, there are states in the U.S. that the governor and the lieutenant governor can contest election from different political parties.
And can be from the different political parties.
And be elected.
And they will run the government without problem.
Yes.
Without problem, yes.
One of them is Virginia. In that same Virginia, right, no governor is allowed to serve 2 consecutive terms.
You can serve one term more.
Irrespective of your performance.
So if you must go for second time, you wait.
Yes, after 4 years, you have to step aside and then come back.
After somebody
contest after 4 years.
So it can be consecutively.
That's
back to back.
The most popular Republican governor, Glenn Youngkin of Virginia, couldn't stand for a second time election. He had to wait. And now a Democrat has been elected to that position. So he'll probably face off against another candidate because
Democrats cannot run immediately.
And then you have states who
with their different rules, guardrails.
Yes. So and even the election, for instance, Florida has got 37 electoral rules, county to county, have their different rules. There are counties where in Florida where voting starts like 1 or 2 months before
general voting starts.
The actual date of general voting. So what states have done is to enact laws that works for them differently. At the end of the day, the results are turned in, and you still have an election.
And people stand by the truth and do the right thing and stand by it.
Yes.
Okay. Once again, while we are talking about our laws and how confusing some of these things can be, before we even be, I'm sure you've read this section 83 severally.
Yeah.
And that's why I've said it severally. I'm not also very comfortable with the Supreme Court's judgment. Again, it now depends on the way lawyers argue it. That look, courts cannot interfere. I think that look, even between husband and wife, when there's a problem, the courts can come in. So if political parties, for example, refuse to resolve their issues, who then solves it for them? But the problem we have, Olalekon, is that look, in giving judgment and interpreting the law, we also see a situation where the courts get us more confused and even contribute to the confusion. So where do we go from here? How do we correct this complete circle of confusion? The laws are not clear. In fact, contradictory. A lot of times, our acts of parliament contradict dictates of the constitution. Now, the people interpreting the law, the courts will now make a complete mess of the situation. They give judgments, counter judgments, and then how do we solve this problem of our democracy when it comes to rules? Because again, it's about the rule of law.
Yes.
How do we solve this problem?
Well, Mr. Barrister Curtis has said a whole lot of things which I also agree with, and from your own assertions as well, which I also agree with. There's so much confusion, and to a very large extent, I think that politicians are happy with this confusion because the way it works is that most of the time this confusion favors them. You see a case, the back and forth, people going into court. This one will collect one injunction. People will go as far as Kano. Look at what is also happening in Ondo State about eligibility of the current governor and all of that.
I hear that you are. Yeah.
The law is even clear on that.
Yes.
The law
we discussed it on this show. Yeah, but yet he still went to court.
And he's still in court as well.
I thought they ruled against him.
But he went. I think he's in federal court now also. He has not backed out
on that same matter.
On that same matter, and look at that particular case. That case is very, very clear on eligibility. Once you are sworn in twice, you are gone.
That's all, yeah.
And he was still claiming immunity and all of that. So even as I said, that politicians, are happy about this confusion, so that because they know that one way or the other, sometimes they manipulate this confusion, manipulate this law, and sometimes it favors them at the end of the day. And again, also let me say that lawyers are also happy about it because all schools should be maintained, and the judge say I rise. That status quo should be maintained also means the has different meanings, because as long as the judge does not say that
clearly
this is what I mean by status quo, maybe from so time this is what I mean by status quo. So as far as politicians are concerned, they are happy about it. With the confusion, as far as lawyers are also concerned, also they are happy about it. And that's why it comes to the matter of integrity, and that integrity comes to the law. People are in the law profession, lawyers and all of that. I feel that these days, one of the things you can do, just like Barrister Curtis said, is that don't just give a vague judgment. When you give a judgment, ensure that you also interpret it. Because what happens is that after the judgment, everybody goes to town, have their different interpretations, everybody becomes a lawyer, everybody, just go wire with different interpretations. So judges should not stop at just giving judgment, but also put some interpretation at it. Lawyers should also find a way, to uphold the law with integrity and tell clients or whoever they are managing.
You have no case, don't let us bother. Lawyers can never say that.
Lawyers can never say that, but Barrister Curtis can say that now.
Can lawyers tell a client that don't let us bother? There's no case here.
Oh, I can do that, and lawyers, I know a lot of lawyers who will do that.
They'll tell their client and say,
in fact, they will tell you that we don't think you have a case. And then the client will get angry and say, but there are lawyers
who will take up this case.
This area.
Yes.
In fact,
and that's where the integrity of the profession comes in. And for me, that's the only way I think that, we can move away from this confusion.
Yes. Okay. But sometimes, even when the lawyers say to the client that I don't think this is the right course of action, The client leaves the lawyer and says, I'm coming, and he goes to look for another lawyer.
That will take up the case.
And that lawyer will say, don't mind that your lawyer. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
No, it's because, there are some certain
because of
lawyers,
the big money on offer.
Even apart from that, some certain lawyers, they may know the judge in the court and outside the court. Because there are some certain order that ordinarily a layman will believe that if somebody wants to get an order of the court, there are some certain judge, they will tell you, go and serve the person. The only thing that you can put is that when you want the case to be done expressly, then seek for a situation in which you have accelerated hearing. You cannot ask me to give you an order without serving the person in questions. So this particular thing also, as much as I agree with NBA on this particular issue, at the same time they need to look inward much
about their members,
both the lawyers and the judges on this particular one. We know politicians, they are going to play their own game. We know politicians, we know them.
Nuruddin, there is the bench and there is the bar. Both are joined at the waist. And there are events where we meet. If there is a desire, a strong will to sanitize the legal profession, whether it is the bench or the bar, it can be done. But what has happened is the infiltration of both the bar and the bench by politicians. As I'm talking to you now, the NBA election will be coming up soon. And I can tell you that politicians are already positioning their own lawyers for these positions.
With money bags.
Yes, you understand. The same thing happened to the religious bodies. We know politicians who go into the politics of Khan and Morik.
Just to put,
this is what you find in a society that is rotten. Let me tell you, every society has the tendency to be the worst of itself, where dark impulses rule supreme. But unless you can find people, men and women of courage, those you can describe as profile in courage, who will say, no, this is not right. This country should be doing better. This country should be showing and leading by example. And we had people in this country like that.
Yes.
Remember when the Lagos state government forcefully took over Ojukwu House? After the court had granted an injunction restraining the Lagos state government from doing so, the Lagos state government went on appeal. The Supreme Court then, Káyọ̀dé Justice Káyọ̀dé, Nikki Toby and all of that. They said, look, so what is lacking
now
today in this country are men that you can describe as profile in courage.
Men of honor and integrity, in simple language.
Listen, Senator John McCain said, courage is not the absence of fear. But the capacity to act in spite of your fears. People who will stand up and speak truth to power by using the institutions that demand
to defend this democracy.
Look at what is going on at the INEC. How did the INEC man, like I said, I know him very well. So as a senior advocate
of Nigeria,
he knew what that judgment simply said.
That order.
Status quo simply means the state of affairs before
the crisis.
That's it. And another thing again is this, Fuad, any lawyer, after spending the years that you spend in university and plus the one that you spent in
practicing
the law school,
the profession and practicing,
and you say you don't know the meaning of status quo, that a judge needs to now be saying, what I mean by status quo is that from here to here is a lie. Is because
the judges will just sit quietly and watch the drama play out. Because by protocol and tradition of the profession,
interpret what you have said.
Status quo. And that's why the courts are overloaded.
Hope they will not use another Latin word to explain another Latin word.
That's why the courts are overloaded with needless cases.
And another thing again is how come political cases.
Don't you think to solve this issue, I think judges should go, a bit more further than, because it's causing issues. So everybody interprets to suit their interest as it is. When you say status quo remains, which you have interpreted to say that
do you know the reason why we have this kind of situation?
Yes.
We have political bandits.
Yes.
Too many bandits here. You see, when politics when politics becomes the biggest business in any country.
This is what we are going to.
The man gets to the House of Reps. Tomorrow he rides in a convoy. In fact, he has a cap designed in his own name like the one the president carries.
The one I wear every day, sir.
you what I'm saying now? You go to the Senate and all of a sudden things change for you. So it's the biggest business in town. To the point now that the way owners of corporations what business will you start today? And next year you declare profit, huge profit, other than politics in Nigeria.
With it or without real.
And that is why it is difficult, because it's a fight for survival and relevance.
Yes.
They will deploy
everything
possible to make sure they put their foot in there.
Yes. And that is the problem.
Was it not in this country that after the Supreme Court gave two judgments in respect of Bayelsa and Imbo?
Yes.
And we said the Supreme Court is the final court.
Yes.
Lawyers still filed application on the promptings of their client to challenge
the Supreme Court judgment,
and ask that another panel
should be
set up to look into that matter immediately.
Well, Barrister, but let's talk about our politicians. The desperation here is well established, but there's something that comes to mind now, because you now have the ADC leaders who are protesting, carrying banners and what have you. I listened to Barrister Liberos, where he was saying that, look, Yar'Adua in 2000 mentally flawed,
and he will stand by any
and that, look, if the courts had nullified that election, he was going to happily stand by that judgment of the court. Like I said,
but you know what people say?
Yes.
They say because he was sick and he won't live long. I've heard that from people.
Well, but anyways, but I'm thinking the Justice Muhammadu Uwais panel was set up.
Jonathan would have taken that kind of decision too.
Well, maybe, but again, he has a part of the blame now. The Justice Muhammadu Uwais this panel was set up. It was a joint ticket. He was part of the ticket of Yar'Adua.
Yes.
Now, and Yar'Adua had set up that panel to resolve the problems with our electoral process. That, look, we can't continue like this. We need to get it right. That was the era of do or die. We knew what the president then did with our politics. It was a do or die affair. Now, the report came out 1 year after, and they were telling recommendations. Up till now, I don't think there's anything so comprehensive in suggestions and recommendations on how to reform our electoral process. In fact, all of these INEC chairman must resign, neutrality of INEC, everything all put together, the role of the court, it was a complete package. And since then, that document is somewhere gathering dust. Barrister, the politicians who are in the opposition to
those people that are there now did not do anything.
Meanwhile, at that point, the people who are in power today were in the opposition. And they were the ones saying, oh, we must implement the Uwais report.
That's why I say
now they are in power. They too are not doing anything about it.
Our politics is a revolving door of infamy. and this is what I say to people. People tend to look at my position on the ADC issue as support for ADC.
I don't know where people are getting that idea from.
I don't support the ADC. I won't join ADC. I'm not a member of ADC. My support is for democracy, and that is
the rule of law.
That is where I'm different from those in power now, and that we were talking about the Uwais
report
to be adopted to brighten and make our electoral system better. The people who are crying outside of the system now were the ones in charge.
They were in power then.
David Mark was the president of
the Senate.
The current president led the protest to INEC office
for that report to be implemented.
Yes, and also for INEC not to be partisan.
To be neutral.
The president now, who was in the opposition then.
Yes. Led the protest urging INEC, not arguing,
urging INEC to adopt that Uwais report and not to be partisan and be
neutral. They also protested against the security agents, the DSS, the police, and all that. That they want them to be non-partisan in the process. Now they have gotten power.
Those ones are now in the opposition. Some of them,
and they are now arguing, or urging those who are there now to say, we need you to be impartial. The agency that you have, the INEC, the body that conducts election, that you appointed the chairman, we want that chairman to be impartial, right? And we also want rule of law to reign supreme. Okay? And we don't want interference with our political party. We don't want interference with the court. And that's why I said it's a revolving door of infamy. Like the president said, it's sweet when you are winning.
Just win.
When you take power and you have all the apparatuses under your control and you can manage
it is sweet.
It is sweet. That's exactly what he's saying. In other words, it's my turn now to enjoy the sweetness.
So, but what about the things he had talked about then?
No, yes,
as the corrections were supposed to make within our institutions.
Suffers from selective amnesia
when it comes to some of this.
They just pick what he likes.
Because even the things he said to Jonathan, because you cannot govern this country, you cannot secure and protect the country, resign. The same thing is happening to him. But if you call for the president to resign today, you are enemy of the president, enemy of Nigeria, enemy of democracy, and you hate him. Even the removal of fuel subsidy.
I'm going to get to you, 괘ᴜᴛᴜ.
You read the letter in this studio.
Yes.
The letter the president wrote to Jonathan then on the removal of
subsidy.
Open letter.
The same thing he did. Do you understand? Everything this president did and said that were legitimate, strategic, or you are his enemy. So what then is democracy? If people cannot speak freely, if this president promised electricity and said, if I don't give you electricity, don't vote for me when I come back, hate him. So this is the problem. And that is why when we get to the third point, where the SDP, former presidential candidate, said, we now have a country that is becoming a one-man show. If this president want to go and fetch water in aggregate today, almost all the 30 governors
where people carry the bucket.
Members of the National Assembly.
It's part of the conversation because the way it is, the way it has been is, if you are in power, you relax on some of the things you have said while you were in the opposition. And I said that the kind of democracy we practice in Nigeria is peculiar. And I also want to say that our own democracy is our democracy. Because if you look around the world, even the America where we inherited the system from, this is not how it is. But having said that, people have criticized the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu about the majority of the things he said while he was in the opposition. And my response has been that, the way you behave. Barrister Curtis has said that he has been very consistent, which I also agree with. But Barrister Curtis is not a politician. And I feel that Barrister Curtis is not a politician. One of the things is this.
Okay, so
I will want to, while I rate Barrister Curtis as being very consistent, I also want to see Barrister Curtis how he will feel, how he will react or act if he's a governor or the House of Representatives.
Okay. Olalekoni, are you saying there's something about our politics that cannot make our politicians consistent, cannot make them say, oh, as opposition, I stand for this. Now that I'm in power, I still stand for it, and I'm going to push through for that thing to happen?
I think it is more about power, not really about politics, as so to speak.
So power changes people. It changes the way they see things.
Yes.
Oh, when they got to power,
yes. I've been privileged to go to people out of power and then when they were in power. And you see, it's one of the things I've always said. I think it is possible to maintain your integrity if you get power, but I've not been in power. So it's for me, I've seen that it is very difficult for politicians to maintain such. And again, when you are in opposition, your JD, your job description is to oppose. It will be an aberration when you are in power, then you begin to oppose as well. And that's why you see the likes of the Mark, while they were in power, they relaxed on so many things. And now that they are out of power,
they are complaining about those things.
What they do is that they oppose. So that's the job. Let's understand. I want us to understand this, that when you are in opposition, you oppose.
Okay. When
you are in power, you consolidate power and you move on with power. You cannot be in power and then I think that's one of the things I've always tried to let people know. If the current party, the APC, the only party, goes out of power today, they will come back to become, an opposition.
And so they now begin to call for those reforms again. They will now begin to talk about those reforms again.
Olalekoni, my brother, that is why the retrogressive nature of African politics comes in.
Yes, I agree.
When political parties go out there to make promises, the people follow through. That's how political parties behave in other parts of the world.
Because that's why I said our own is peculiar. in Nigeria.
It's not peculiar, it's destructive.
Is it our?
It's not peculiar.
Because you see, ours is just.
If it's not peculiar, why will you go out to make campaign promises and you get to power and it is difficult and it is a pattern? This is not even about one political party.
It's across board.
And this is what we are saying. That's what we are saying, that it is because at the end of the day, when you buy and it cannot perform those functions, most times in this part of the world, you are not allowed to return the product. What you do is to endure, and then you don't go back.
Another one.
And to even take them to customer.
The only tribunal, the tribunal of a credible election, where your choice will matter, they have ensured that you don't even have that option.
You can't.
Do you understand? They now look. They either they rig the process completely, or they don't even allow you to take part in the process.
Okay.
So both ways, they don't need the people.
All right.
But let me add this forward. The idea that the politicians, because somebody is a journalist, a former journalist, a former doctor, a former this, more than those people that are no registered member of that particular party, or is not even a registered member of a political party, they will not be telling you it's because you are not a politician. As if a politician, as if politics,
they are created differently.
Is because their own thinking is different and they are created differently. One thing that is certain is this: is because majority of our politicians in Nigeria, they are destructive. If you are a man of your words, that is why no matter the name you want to give Trump, there are some certain things he said before he gets to power that he's going to do.
I did, and he's doing.
But
there are some that he said he will not do.
No,
that he's doing.
We know the one that is lying. But one thing there is that our politicians.
There's a long list of things that he will not do.
But one thing there is that if our
listen to, because of time, we are fast running out of time. It's still Political Roundtable Mainland 98.3 FM. I think I don't know. I really don't want to go because it does not make sense. We can talk about God saving us from this impending
when he has given us
calamity, because you look at our laws, there are contradictions. You look at the political players, there's no commitment, there's no intentionality. Money we are spending
on National Assembly, and they are putting this kind of law for us.
So that's number two. Number three, the last hope of the common man, the judiciary. In fact, they make things even worse. They complicate the whole thing. So you ask yourself, where is the hope?
Justice Amina, they started infiltrating the system with their own nominees. I said in this studio, Justice Ebere-Chukwu, Wike is the justice of the Court of Appeal,
and that's
when she was promoted to that position. The day of her inauguration, did you see the number of politicians that turned out for that event?
Was that on Wike's wife?
Yes, that's
Wike's wife. And politicians thronged the courts.
Now, when they fight behind the scene,
yes,
to get their children, their uncles, their in-laws, their brothers, their cousins and nephews onto the bench. And they facilitate their growth and promotion within the system because they know that in the next few years, their services will be needed to keep them in power.
Yes.
And that's exactly what is going on.
Yes.
Every sector of this country has been infiltrated.
Okay, well, Olaleko needed to step aside, and so we just carry on with the conversation. Now, Barrister, Prince Adewale Adebayo is a man listened to several. In fact, he's been to our studio here, look, because again, we keep asking ourselves, within the political space, do we have people who are completely different from the usual? The things
shouldn't look.
Well, because
you see, because we have accepted that slate that you can say whatever you want to say, but what happens in power is different. Yes, there are constraints in exercising power.
Yeah.
For instance, you can have the National Assembly who is alive to his responsibility. If you have good intentions and you have the political will and capital to do what is right by the people, nothing stops you.
For me, I think it's just about accountability and integrity, really.
Simply because when they go there, for instance, let me give you an example. In the case of Obasanjo, before he became president, he said all kind of things.
Yes.
But once he got there and he saw the enormous
powers
of the president,
if I know what he could talk to him,
he said he cannot give away this power.
I remember
all kind of things about
and half of the thing Obasanjo is writing letters about now were things he had the opportunity to correct, which he did not do. All right, we'll listen to Prince Adewale Adebayo, who I think has an interesting perspective to where we are with our democracy. You know, there's a lot of talk in town. Oh, we're sliding into a one-party state. And then, of course, you have people say, oh, we can never be a one-party state. At least we have about 21 political parties registered now. But he's saying that, look, why you guys are focused on the fact that, look, the fortunes of the opposition political parties, real opposition political parties.
One man is emerging.
One man is emerging with enormous uncontrollable powers. Let's listen to him and then we'll be right back.
A Pobia kind of person. His son is vice president now.
Candid observation, following the evidence, Nigeria is not going towards a one-party state. What Nigeria is at risk of is a one-man rule. And if anybody is in APC who thinks that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to help APC to become the dominant party and one-party state, that's not the agenda. The agenda is to have a one-man rule. The first victim of that one-man rule is even the APC itself, because they are inside there and they are getting used to having no internal democracy. They are getting used to being dictated to by their leader, who is the president now. So they are not, and the people in the party are stronger than those who are in government, and the people in the leadership of the party are in charge of performance, measurement, and supervision of government. So APC is the first victim. So if they will not be able to function properly, and for us, in my own candid observation, following the...
All right, well, that's the voice of Prince Adewale Adebayo, and you know, it just got me thinking, really, Nuruddin, and something kept coming to my mind that, look, even for APC members in Lagos, wouldn't it have been very sweet, engaging, robust, interesting, for example, if they allow board meetings, openly canvass, you know, the robustness that is supposed to come within the structure. But it appears that every member of the party, for example, in Lagos, is looking towards one direction. Who is going to be looking for that word? Thank you. The anointed candidate of the president. And so what we have are people, yes, who are showing their hand, but cautiously, you know, almost like in a very cautious manner, almost guided to have the nod to go ahead. Prince Adebayo is saying that, look, the APC will be the first victim. In fact, will suffer from the consequence of a situation where one man now does not have a choice. I remembered when Fashola came up. I think there were how many gubernatorial aspirants?
There are many.
About 12 that I remember. Some of them, Fashola is out. They all left the party. Some for Lagos politicians who are members of the ruling party. And it appears to be the pattern across the nation now. You have some states where they will tell you, oh, we are not happy that this governor has come in to take over our party. But what can we do? The interest of the party supersedes every other interest. For example, in Delta, there are politicians who were, and is that, you know what? Once the governor comes in, he becomes the leader of the party. They all have to accept.
It's happening in Kano State.
In Kano, and several other states too. So, and you have a situation where, I don't know whether Gawuna has officially defected. The last APC gubernatorial candidate in Kano.
I see running.
You know, so what do you think about what Prince Adebayo has said about the possibility of Nigeria slide?
You know that in this studio, I always say this, that I look at the history of Nigeria. For those people that have become our president, this is the first time we are having full-time. Some Nigerians believe that it's more of politics than governance. And that is the reason why you know the number of governors, because of his large tentacles in all those things he wants to create in all other parties.
I'm even talking about the idea.
I understand. Where I'm going is this. because everything is centered around him. Before he become president, don't forget the issue of Eleyi came into being, and he publicly shown it that if not because of him, that Abiodun cannot become.
Well, that might be about just supporting, giving
It's
backing.
not about supporting alone. Publicly is the one that gave the flags to him and supported him. Or your state. The person that happens to be the candidate of ready to become governor is going to settle his cause. And the same man came to Oyo State and sat down with the governor that is in opposition in that particular party. What it means is this. Let's now come back to Lagos. We have seen people flagging.
Well, maybe it's not time for campaigns. Yeah, the primaries are coming up. Maybe that's why. But I'm saying that, look,
where I'm going
if we're having this movement, the meetings.
If Baba have not talked, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not, because everything has been centered around him. Now he's the president. With the way where we are going now, let's start from the legislature. Do you think all that goes with Akpabio and Tajuddin Abbas? Do you think they are going to do anything contrary to what the president wants? Let's move away from there. Let's look at the judiciary. Because of the power that he has, it is not about political party now. It's about the power. And don't forget that I said that he's a political president. What I mean by political president is that he's a politician that knows how to use power, and that power that he's using. Okay, look at the case of El-Rufai. Those people that even stole billions in Nigeria.
Yeah, but I think it would be wrong to say, oh well.
No. But don't forget one thing.
El-Rufai is still defending himself.
Whether we like it or not, I have never seen it in my life. Those people that stole billions, we're talking about Emefiele gain on allegations. See, with what is happening now, one particular chief magistrate in Lagos State told me, I asked her, I said, come madam, with the way beautiful cases, big cases in Lagos is always at your table.
I mean, allocated to you.
Are you not going to apply to be judge? Maybe in state high court or whatever. And she told me, last 10 years ago.
That can't be the president. Maybe,
no, I'm not saying president.
Yes.
No, where I'm going is that the power of the executive, talk less of when the president.
It's a political and very powerful president.
He's not just a powerful president. He's a political president. Everything in politics, and one thing about politics, go inside the military, capture them. Go inside the judiciary, capture them. Capture everything because he's a politician.
Nuruddin, I think that yes, politics is about capturing political power, winning political power in the form of when I talk about politics now, proper politics, selling your people, selling yourself to the people, telling them what you will do to better their lot, selling yourself to them to the point where they surrender. Because people don't know that this idea of going to vote is about you giving all your rights and powers. In fact, the powers that the politicians have are derived from the people. That's why it's called democracy. And the problem they are giving a conversation for another day, because it is not the mandate of the president, it is the mandate
of the people.
And that is what democracy dictates. So, but once you begin to sing allegiance, once you begin to sing and begin to politically worship a single person, then it's become a completely useless democracy.
If you see somebody, if you see somebody that has the power and has been using the power from 1999 till date in a particular state, is he not a small god in that particular state?
Barrister, you see,
he's a small god.
And we tell people, because, and that's why when people make it so, how do I put it now? When they trivialize all of our conversations and think, oh, they hate the president. I know the kind of people I'm supposed to engage with and have conversations with. There are people you don't just bother with, really, because they probably will not see what you're seeing. It's just what it is. I've seen how dictatorships come up. I've seen how people who rose through, basically nobodies, who rise through being the champions of the people, pushing the narratives of freedom fighters, and then they suddenly become leaders that people cannot even understand, they cannot even deal with again. They become emperors eventually. Prince Adebayo is telling us that, you know what, we have to pay attention. And unfortunately, in the political space, we don't have people who will understand the danger of having, don't just want to publicly wear caps with the logo of the president. It's not even about the political party. It's about allegiance to the president. They want to wear the logo of the president. We have a governor who told his commissioners that, look, if you are coming to cabinet meeting and you don't wear the cap of the president,
you'll be sent back.
You'll be sent back. You have them more happy to sing the "On Your Mandate We Shall Stand" than even the national anthem. Across board, there's praise singing. There's the need. You just mentioned it. If the president today decides that he wants to go and fetch water in Agege, all the governors, if at least 90% of the governors will arrive.
They'll take drum from their various
states. And the fear is the precedents, the foundation we are laying. Like Prince Adebayo said, don't you think that
what we see around the president is not just episodic? It's consistent. A consistent pattern of wanting to dominate the political space. This man was helped by others to become the governor. The political party platform that he used to get to that position, the first thing he did was to dismantle that party.
Within 4 years.
And start his own political party. And since then, he has been in charge. No one can become the governor of the state without him.
Is he only governor?
In sponsor candidate to run against his candidate. Just to ensure that.
They'll say it's a strategy.
Yes. Now, the point we are making is that he cannot change that pattern. And we're already beginning to see it. I want to ask you a question, and I want to ask those who are listening a question. Do you know anybody in Nigeria in the ruling party today that if this president decides that it is his desire to run for a third term,
that will say no to it,
the constitution be amended
and
to remove term limits,
that will stand up and say no to it?
Is it Akpabio or Tajuddin Abbas or Okoyemi Bamidele who
or in draft
that constitution will be amended? The governors will queue behind him. All right.
There are various states.
So this is the danger
Prince Adebayo saying. He's talking about
that. First of all, the APC as a party has become a victim. They have been victimized by the president because there's nobody in that party today that can challenge the president.
What he wants is a law. What he wants is a law.
Now, don't forget that this president established the GSC in Lagos just to be a cover for collective action. But we know where the power base is.
No, the Obasa scenario gave us a clear idea. It's well established. Yeah.
And this is the danger the man is alerting us to. And we don't have to look further. There is no dictator in Africa that started as a dictator.
They started as Democrats, freedom fighters.
Mugabe was a freedom fighter. He went after Nujoma.
Yes.
You know, and others, I mean, not Nujoma, Jomo, what's his name? The man who fought with him.
With him, yes.
But of course, as soon as they got power, he went after him and sent him to jail. Dictators have this way of selling the people a decoy. They speak all the right languages. They are populist and all of that. And once they're entrenched in the system, they then release their fangs. Look at what is going on in Cameroon. When that constitution was amended to say the president can then appoint a vice president and not elect one.
He had gotten to a point where nobody could say no.
Nobody could say no. And that's exactly where we are going. Because if not for the small opposition voices that we are hearing, if you leave everything to the APC as a political party today, this country is finished. Because there's no voice that will challenge him in the party.
And
today.
I think that
the few voices, like that of the former national vice chairman, North.
Yes.
I think that man from Kaduna won with party Nantewe. Who will challenge him?
Will challenge
now,
him.
when you go to the National Assembly, is it Akpabio in the Senate or Jibri or Kpeyemi Bamidele, the majority leader. When you go to the House of Reps, is it Taji Nabi or Charles Kalu, the deputy speaker?
I was saying no.
Or Ado, the majority leader from Kano. So this is the danger we are confronting, and he is right that we are focusing on parties.
Yes, it's
why one individual is growing in strength.
Because what he seems to be saying is that look, the parties have almost become one.
Yes,
except for fringe opposition that we have,
and it's right. Because look, we have a situation now where the police has reopened the PDP secretariat
for the Wike people to take over,
and we know that the Wike faction is either not going to fill the candidate, or if they fill the one,
we predicted that one now.
To be a dummy candidate.
It's a candidate that before the results are announced, we congratulate the president.
I had always predicted present a presidential candidate, or APC will choose a candidate for them. Are they not there already?
And I have told you, when you hear a Wike said, say that all the governors who abandoned the party lack morality, does he want a party of his own? The answer is very simple. He wants a party where the sphere of influence belongs to him.
Of course, yes.
And I've said it before. Wike is playing a delicate game. He's supporting the president, but at the state level, he wants to control the PDP. He wants to produce a governor from the PDP and produce governors from PDP in other states. Why? So that they can become a veritable platform for his use in the future.
Can't he do the same thing he probably would do at the national level? Also, just control who the APC presents, so that at the end of the day, the APC candidate will be his candidate.
He tried it in Imo State and got his fingers burnt.
He was
rooting for
Anyanwụ. Maybe for 5 minutes, Lagos politics, barrister. There's a lot of talk around Obafemi Hamzat. I've told a number of people, yes, I've not had a personal conversation with him, but observing him, knowing him, listening to him, I have a few friends who are close to him. A brilliant man, no doubt.
Yeah.
In fact, you look at him, the aura, the personality, it's fit for purpose, if you ask me. Again, just from observation, you say, well, it should not disappoint. It seems to have the qualities you want in a governor. And so there's been a lot of talk. Again, the first people...
Who's confident of the president?
So people are saying, well, if Falike can come out openly, it appears that the president's anointed candidate will be Hamzat. But Jandor is saying that, you know what, I'm in the race. It's not, I don't think that is the situation of things. The president has not spoken, and the party does not have a preferred candidate. There are people who are talking about Ambode, to the possibility of Ambode having a return. Do you think it's a Hamzat thing now? You think the Hamzat story will eventually fly?
I can say one time. I saw Jide Sanwo-Olu comment.
Yeah.
The governor. Hamzat was the front runner.
I was going to ask you the question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the question because I've told Fᴏʟʟᴏᴡ is here.
He was the front runner.
Why did the president not choose him then? Why did he?
If you then have Ambode as a Christian, serve only one time, and then you replace him with a Muslim, that was one consideration.
So
it was.
But now we have had
a Christian to complete that term. But don't forget, then the president was not fully convinced about running for president, and then now he ran for president, and the governor of Lagos played a key role,
yes,
in ensuring his victory. He has to be rewarded one way or the other. So he was allowed to run. These are political exigencies.
Okay.
Now, he got a term, which means if you are looking at the religious calendar, you now have to come into Lagos. And you see, if you recall that there was a meeting that was held at the Bodyland House of Mr. President, then the national leader of the party, where Moise Banire was present, the vice president, Oshibajo, was present, and others. That was where it was decided that in order not for the forces to be splintered around, that it was. So that's because Sanwo-Olu, as far as in fact, I heard that he was actually lobbying Hamzat to be his chief of staff if he becomes the governor. And if you see the way he treats Hamzat, Sanwo-Olu, he treats him with utmost respect. They go to everywhere together and all of that. And so you have this feeling that Hamzat has carried himself well. He's been a loyal party member, yeah. And there are a lot of people who feel that because of the role his father played in the GSC, and even in the emergence of Tinubu as governor of Lagos State too, that he owes him a political debt. But we have look of the Godfather.
Okay,
but I think it has a good chance of emerging.
It's close to the finish line.
But for what Adediran, you know what is happening to Adediran?
It's Lagos for Lagos.
You know what happens?
Yes.
You can hear boom, and you say it's knockout.
Or you're gone.
You might not be able to tell immediately. He might be the ultimate insider who is an outsider.
Okay.
As far as the power game is
concerned, he may think he's inside, but he might not even be. He might not even be in the compound. Talk less of the room.
For me, I think.
You think the battle is?
For me, I
the
think
contest is still
until the national leader of the
says where he's going,
and the Godfather in Lagos politics, until he picks somebody like this.
No, let me tell you, from when he was the national.
This is Lagos, barrister.
This president, what he's going to do, you remember when the issue of Ambode, when the rumors start swirling around about about Ambode going to be governor. President Tinubu never spoke a word to anybody on it. Movement, the wordings, the speeches, the movement around by some of his key allies suggested that he was actually moving in that direction.
So it's possible, but one thing there is that I still believe, because I could remember.
Believe what?
I still believe that until
it's not over,
machine order. But one thing there is
not going to do that immediately.
I know.
What you are going to
you know how close 광ᴏʟᴏ is to the president.
Yes.
So if 광ᴏᴏ is saying this is where I'm going,
but don't forget.
Don't you think it's an indication of where the president is going?
That within 2 months.
Yes.
Within 2 months. Do you remember that all the wards, all the local government, they've endorsed Ambode for second tenure? Do you remember?
Before everything, what was?
No, I just
I remember. And things changed suddenly. Yeah.
Ordinarily, Obafemi Hamzat.
You know the difference, chairman.
That the president even rate him that he has done well.
The local government chairman did not check with the president before they went to forward.
So, what of 광ᴏᴏ does not check with the president too now?
And that's going to be possible in this situation, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because first and foremost, 광ᴏᴏ and the president are quite close, political associates.
Yes.
광ᴏᴏ is telegraphing, and 광ᴏᴏ might be out there telegraphing a message from the president to see how others will react. And I'll give you an example. When the rumors again swirled around that the president had endorsed Tokunbo Afekwami, so these things don't just pass for empty noises. The truth is that for 광ᴏᴏ to come out and say, "I am going to put my structure
behind this person,"
behind Hamzat, tells you that he heard something.
But let me add this one.
Because I want to put
Obafemi Hamzat. I always tell some certain people that was the time I moved closer as a standing brain. How is now going to use it when if he becomes governor?
It's another thing. Okay, but again, this is supposed to be, because I think I've seen some people in Badagry who are saying, no, it's for the sake of equity, fairness, and justice, it has to be Badagry's turn. I've asked a number of APC in Lagos where his father was a king somewhere in Ogun State.
Yeah.
So it cannot be from Epe. At least that's a very clear indication that it's not from Lagos. And I've seen a number of people. I've also seen to rule Lagos. Do you think it could be a factor against Hamzat this time?
Is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu an indigene of Lagos? No.
I'm just saying. Do you think?
No, he's not a factor.
So we should not bother.
Although this one is a fact. One of the lineage of in Epe, for people that are coming, truly they have a root from there. But as we speak, he's from Avoa,
because
in
the father became a king there.
So he's from Avoa, but his lineage maybe he's from other side of the father.
So do you think?
But that one does not matter in Lagos.
Wait now.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. See the way. Okay, so wait now.
That's the thing.
So do you think real Lagosians, true Lagosians, have a right to begin to question why
they do?
It appears. Can I get it?
No, you are a Lagosian.
Wait now.
So
can I get a councillorship?
You are conquered.
You can't.
Can I, as small as a councillorship, can I get it in Abeokuta?
Because of the time.
Okay.
But you are conquered. I hope you know.
6000410. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, the three wise men in the studio.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Peter. Saying that I've only been balancing your thoughts and the questions, which is very, very good. But I must also say at this juncture that Barrister Curtis Adega, he tries to compare the appearance of a toddler with that of a 90-year-old when it comes to Nigeria and the American democracy.
So wait. So we are a toddler. America is the 90-year-old.
Yes, he tries to compare the two always. That's why I'm annoyed with him. He tries to bamboozle or cajole many of the listeners on that point.
So wait, calm down. Don't find out anything. Just calm down.
Do you know the purpose of experience? The purpose of experience is two people don't have to go through the same process.
Calm down. Just calm down. Wait now. Calm down. I say calm down. You don't want us to talk. He has told you the path to follow. He has already shown you the way. He cleared the bush, the booby traps and everything. Are you supposed to spend this number of years that the person used to do the journey as somebody who already had? Answer my question. Wait, don't be bamboozled. Let me ask you a question. I say let me ask. Your thought is not making sense, so calm down. Answer my question. What I am telling you, you're supposed to spend the number of hours that the person spent, who has already solved the problem, as somebody who is just copying what somebody had already done.
Why you
we should compare where with Zimbabwe.
Are you okay? Are you happy with that?
Should we compare?
Versus
Maybe we should be comparing ourselves with Togo.
You know the problem? These guys love. You know what? These guys.
But when you now say what America is doing well, they say no, don't compare. Hello, good evening.
Very good evening, all the people in the studio.
Good evening. Oh my goodness.
My name is Prince Wife.
Yes.
You are welcome. In the center of universe.
You are welcome.
Now, number one.
Yes.
Lagos State Governor. I think the point working with my instruction is the appointment of Mr. President.
Who is that? There's Hamzat.
That is a legislator.
Yeah, Faleke.
And as it is now, since I'm in Lagos, I never see deputy as so loyal to the governor. I never see governor with the deputy working together, their wife working together. It seems to me, maybe there has an agreement from beginning that if you do your own time, this man will go. But I like everybody to come on board. But only God can tell me. But what I will remember someone is in fact, I can't know what to call it. I want to thank you. If you leave tomorrow, I didn't can never forget you.
Okay.
Because I remember when about that country, bless my country.
Amen. Thank you.
Good evening to you all.
Good to you too. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Curtis.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Maybe good evening. All the sellers say PC. I don't know why people are just wasting your time and all these things. So what I'm trying to say, I listen to when you talk of Lagos for Lagos, sir.
Oh.
Hello, good evening. Sorry. I'm ready to take power in 2027. No? You understand? See, on that front, a good politician think ahead. You have to be smart. You get no grammar. You don't need grammar. What they're seeking is grammar. How many more for them to have convention?
They don't get time. They don't get no time. No time at all.
No time, and they want to go court. They are challenging this thing. The other time, you see, okay, the remark. What is the experience of the remark as a politician?
Former Senate president.
Forget it, Oga. He spent more time in military than to be in politics. Okay, the controversy before he became a Senate president, you know this thing. Even because of what can he be?
Madam Salah, for somebody to be senator for 20 solid years.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, no, hala.
No be my mind.
He is a good politician. He is a good politician, sir. 2 days ago, I had one of the paper reported that leadership of ADC made with the people of PRP.
Yeah, well, that's what the paper is saying.
How can you go and meet people that were party of 1979?
Thank you, Madam Salah.
But it's not the only PRP that visited them.
Yeah.
It's not the only PRP.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening to you.
Yes, good evening.
Barrister Curtis, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. My name is 괘ᴜᴛᴜ. I'm calling from Matobi.
You're welcome, sir.
To call because I can see that we have limited time now. But nevertheless, let me quickly make my point.
Just make your
He's right. Sorry about
no problem. Number one, I'm beginning to see judiciary to be for common man.
But it is rather unfortunate that they are the ones twisting the whole thing. We can't even get the bearing of what democracy is in this particular country any longer. Because they are making everything to deceive people. It's not a laughing matter. Because look at Wike, for example. That man that has considered himself as a nuisance within politics of Nigeria, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Look at what this man do, the INEC chairman. Look at what he's doing, and there is nobody that can call him to order. Then what benefit is that judiciary?
Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes.
My question to Baika Curtis. The word status quo at the bellow and status quo ante. Is it now written in the Constitution of Nigeria? Is that what new to lawyers in Nigeria, FAM? I'm asking that question, sir.
Well, it's only new because you have people whose minds are twisted. They're just trying to create confusion.
You have to be alone and status ante. Yeah, so we are not a lawyer, but we are listening to lawyers from the fine side. It depends on where most of these lawyers stand. On the issue of this ABC, we are going to believe that the action was of Gombe. Nothing Gombe was filed on September 2nd. And INEC recognized IṛsᴜnsoɁ and Co. September 9th. Their name was published on the 10th. Now, status quo to demo in this case, by Mr. Curtis, where can we say it belongs? It was said that
his case when?
September 2nd.
September 2nd, beautiful. So before September, that was so when you file a case, can we assume that was when the trouble started?
Now,
no, let's answer now. No, do you agree? No, wait now. Wait, let me answer the question first.
What do you say?
Do we agree that status quo antebellum means go back to what the party was before the problem started?
Yes.
Okay. So September 2nd, Balanofiu filed
the lawsuit. Who was leading the party
so
then?
Before that September 2nd, who were the leaders of the party? Who was the leader of the party? Who were the leaders of the party?
When was INEC?
You are talking about when INEC uploaded the name. INEC had monitored their NEC meeting before then.
On the 25th of July.
INEC
was there. And INEC
you are talking about when INEC uploaded names.
That was not the beginning.
That's not the Hello, good evening. I can't even read messages. I think I just dedicate the rest. I'm sorry, I cannot pick any other call again because we just have to use this. How many minutes? Just about 8-9 minutes to read the messages we have on Facebook. YouTube is full. The messages are. I'm sorry.
Try read as much as you can.
So Abdurrafiu Alabalakpa is saying my name is MB INEC and the Electoral Act. Well, hope those condemning INEC can now know more than cannot know more than the chairman of INEC. He's a lawyer, indeed a son. So he understands his action towards the leadership of ADC, the recognition. Okay, so that's the much I can take.
He's all knowing.
As a son, he knows everything.
He knows everything.
But why do sons lose cases in court?
But we've seen a lot of.
Say, let's be honest. Critics of Bola Ahmed Tinubu mostly fall into a few categories. Those who expected political rewards but got none. Those still bitter about the outcome of the 2023 election. Those who oppose him out of regional or tribal sentiment. Association of Lagos for Lagos. Those uncomfortable with the current shift in political power dynamics. So before all the noise and outrage, the real question remains: which category are you? So
what about those suffering from his economic
policies? So you can see how whack the thinking of somebody is.
Those who are not politicians
who are suffering. Other Nigerians who are complaining about suffering.
See how you categorize.
He didn't put that on the list.
He did not put those people that are suffering.
God help you with the way you use your brain. God just help you. So on your list now, you didn't remember to put other Nigerians who are suffering. They don't have a right to talk. Okay.
The kind of person
you see the problem.
They will say is entitled,
but the fact
is not entitled to his own facts.
And the fact here shows that what he has put there is nonsensical, complete nonsensical. All right, we have John. Okay, we have Chukwuma Akwaramadu saying, okay, I think there's a lot of back and forth, you know. We have John Bernardo saying, good evening, political roundtable. Jandor should allow anti-Bello to stand. The problem. Barrister, can our judges stop using Latin to give judgments or court orders?
You know, law
is beautiful with Latin.
It's beautiful with Latin, but I mean, if the beauty will constitute more problems,
can we just stop?
Let's adopt the ugliness of
our local language.
And a log
do Latin,
but that is compulsory.
But you have Latin interspersed in the context.
Legal, okay, because it's now a problem. All right, we have Damilare, the Emperor Joshua saying the station. Okay. The station in Red Garden is not working. No, I think it is. Okay, I don't know. Well, okay, I will not bother. I don't know, but it's one of those. You have a lot of problem here, so we will not bother. All right. So we have David Abayomi saying he's reporting all the way from Elekosi Port. Ileruka Iyitayo saying, although I'm listening from my radio, I tuned in here only to see the faces of these guys that I love their analysis so much. Thank you. We have Wahid Alabi saying, good evening, sir. Keep good work. Keep the good work going. Okay. We have Adiola Awoni saying, good evening to you all. How do you think it's possible for the court to stay completely off internal political crisis and ideal ruling, particularly in this democracy? Okay, Chukwu Kalu is saying, I heard one prominent church told their members that they will invite tax specialists to lecture its members about the tax reforms, but the same church protested against judge when he partially removed subsidy, against Goodluck Jonathan when he removed subsidy. Okay, we have
but it's not Jonathan that is there now, it's Tinubu that is there.
Yeah, okay. That's so he says Ifeanyi Anyalewichi saying, I believe one day God will raise someone to correct all the abnormalities in Nigeria. Architect Dada Adedayo is saying, I want to ask, what is your president afraid of? You have 32 governors, you have more than 100 senators and House of Reps, you have cash and okay. All right, well, that's going to descend into what we cannot read on radio. Okay, we have Babalaula Williams saying, good evening, Mr. Fuad, Barrister Curtis Adigban, Prince Adengbero Nirudin. Nigerian democracy is stomach infrastructure to current politicians. That's why majority of them lacks ideologies, which is causing the country stagnation and going down day and day out. Okay. We have Bamidele Adejare saying, Tinubu and politics, but you should know that power belongs to God. Please, I'm so much concerned about insecurity. Before coming on the show, I was almost tempted to bring in the issues of insecurity. In the last 48 hours, Mr. Curtis Adigba, the stories have been crazy. There's unconfirmed report that a military operation by the Nigerian Air Force, again, we are following that story, and if it is true, Barrister.
But what does it matter?
I know it does.
These are mere statistics.
To human beings?
Listen, to those who love this president so much that
whatever, it can never be wrong.
When you ask him to do his job,
they say, oh, you are
constitutional duty he swore to do.
Like somebody that wrote a very useless list.
Is because you are either not given a political appointment
or you have not moved on from the last election.
Like
or the religious and regional sentiment does not favor you.
Or ethnic sentiment.
And that's why I like the fact that, look, you are entitled to your opinion, but not your set of facts.
Not your facts.
And when the fact shows that you have made a nonsensical statement, we will tell you. It's not very important.
These people are not even capable of comprehending the fact that their facts are nonsensical.
No, they need to be told. I've just told you, people are dying, they're suffering in the land, people are groaning. Even the man you say you are supporting is acknowledging the fact that people are suffering.
He said he's hearing
and he's appealing to them. Say, well, you know, and you know the funny thing is that if people who are even benefiting from the system are people talking like this, it might actually be somebody who is just a victim of his own hopes and aspirations that does not even make any sense.
I've forgotten his name. He's a professor of law in University of California, Berkeley. He describes such people as political idiots. Those who act against their best interests.
And they really don't know.
They describe them as idiots. Because you see the problem that you are confronting. You see the people who are giving you the problems you are confronting.
And they must ride on.
But you are supporting them when they are not even doing anything to help you.
It's unfortunate. But we take maybe one message or two. A lot of messages on YouTube, and we cannot just accommodate more than one. I think we have Abidin Adeyemo saying Nigerians allow emotions to guide their thinking. Why there is often a limited understanding of politics. Everyone, including journalists and social media commentators, need to grasp the dynamics of politics. Okay, now that will be.
I discuss cap today scares me.
It's antebellum. Is Adisgas cap is status quo antebellum.
And your cap must argue.
You have to argue to INEC.
You cannot urge INEC, but you must argue to
INEC. But I argue INEC.
What do you have for us this evening?
So we are discussing: do divorced people really find it all when they finally get separated officially?
Do divorced people?
Yes.
Do what?
Do they really find it all? Like they make people believe,
they move on and eventually get on.
Yeah, like they want to make people believe.
You know that this question got me thinking, because you see women on social media, celebrating divorce, and how I broke free, and now I'm happy.
I'm free from the shackles of marriage.
And even men, because there was a guy in the US last
celebrating divorce.
Yeah, I think he was celebrating. He got certificate.
They will never tell
maybe the settlement he got was favorable to him, because then you have to share house, share everything.
But here in Nigeria, are they going to celebrate the bills they are now paying by themselves?
Well, okay, let the matters analysts deal with all of that. Okay, this is what we call it the Political Roundtable Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll do this again next week.
Journey of togetherness is like an onion bulb. It has layers and layers and more layers that looks beautiful only when cut nicely into consistent patterns. A heart that will bond for long needs to submit to emotional education. So, why not join Adisa the Enigma and his League of Romantic Analysts on Mainland 98.3 FM every Sunday as we settle every issue of the heart, and on the Marital Affairs Show. It promises to be enlightening, engaging, emotionally grounding. Make it a date this Sunday with Adisa the Enigma, only on 98.3 Mainland FM.
It was Whitney Houston, the popular singer, who sang to say that where do broken hearts go to? Do they find their way home? Which makes you just for a bit then think about, wonder how a journey of I like to do this forever with you becomes the discussion of how can we share the proceeds of what we have, with the courts, from the courts. Good evening, City of Lagos, Nigeria. Trust that you're doing very good. Welcome you to Marital Matters on Mainland 98.3 FM. And of course, it was a heated one as always on Political Roundtable, but never mind. Tonight we'll be discussing something very interesting. And we had shared the topic with us in the studio is the maestro himself, Mr. Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ. Mr. Akatugba, it's so good to have you once again.
It's a pleasure to be here on Mainland FM with Toyosi on Marital Matters. What a lovely evening, isn't it?
It is. And, it is for the lovers.
Very interesting topic that you have tonight.
Okay.
And very, very, very critical topic.
Yeah, I know that you've done something like this on your YouTube channel, but we'll discuss more. So tonight, if you're just joining in, this is Marital Matters on Mainland 98.3 FM, and we're discussing the topic: do divorced people really find it all when they finally get separated officially. Yeah. There was a story of a young man that was going around, and he had said, oh, finally got his divorce papers, if you remember. But then there's a popular actress that we're going to play a short clip from what she said last week. She's a Yoruba Nollywood actress, Lɪධᴇ. She was also asked in a podcast by a fellow Nollywood actor, colleague, Ayo, and then you'd just take a listen and then we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Anyway, because me, I can be married 5 times. It is not an issue. In fact, I won't even.
Is it because your religion allows that?
No, our religion does not allow a woman marry multiple times. But if I don't get it right, I don't get it right. Mm-hmm. If it's not coming right, it's not coming right. There is nothing I can do. I just have to. I won't keep trying anyway. So many times I've said I'm not doing this. I'm not even trying any marriage BS anymore. You hang. Mm-hmm. But just in case it happened in the future.
Or don't you feel lonely?
Never. I can never feel. No. I can't feel lonely.
Mr. Katuba, you heard the young lady, and all of what she said. That's an old time. She's been in the industry as much as I know, over 20 years, and she said she can marry as much as she wants. And I remember Lɪධᴇ when she started young, a good girl. But I'm not going to judge based on her personality reason, but I'll leave the rest to you as an analyst. So it could not be only women, so people don't just go gender bias. Even for men, there was a guy who went to the US. He started from a reality show in Nigeria. He followed the woman to the US, and he was celebrating Atlanta, Georgia, that is divorced now. So I like to ask, let's start this way. How we're supposed to also have with us a lawyer, but she'll join us in no time. But I like to start with Mr. Katuba. How did marriage become so heckling these days that opting out has become an option on the rise?
Okay, marriage is an institution that tests all the qualities of a person. You know, the positive and the negative qualities of a person. And today, you have people that are predominantly impatient, fast food generation. So when you have such an environment where people thrash their good cultures and adopt negative Western trends or foreign trends, you are likely to have a lot of, marriages that are not going to work, because marriage is about the coming together of two cultures, two individuals. If they are not patient, you are not going to survive. We live in an impatient time, a time of fast food. We call them the jet age. They're very fast. They want to do everything quickly. They're very materialistic. If you come to such an environment, materialistic people, uncaring, unloving, without natural affection, you won't have marriages. So it's not a surprise. Marriages will be endangered in our land if the appetite of our people is driven in the wrong direction.
Okay. Because while I saw the video, and I don't know the remaining excerpt of the video, but the person interviewing her was just, it might take a lot to judge her from that. But then, as we have marriage material people, like we always say these days, we also have people who we call do have divorce material people, right? And so just a minute. So like I said, we have married material people and we have divorce material people. But Lagos, we have Barrister Lamidi in the studio. Barrister Lamidi, how are you doing?
Well, thank you.
Should I say Akujo 40 and thank you very much for coming? I could just even give this check. We've not seen you in this year and 2 years and how many years ago? How have you been?
Very well, thank you.
I wish Lagos could see your face with you. You kind of smile and I give you. No.
Anytime I see Mr. I always smile.
Yeah, and you know, for every show that
The color of the phone.
Mr. Katuba, every time so somebody would say to me that every time you have Mr. Katuba or you always have Barrister Lamide, I said those are the best two people to compliment each other, because if Barrister Lamide doesn't see Mr. Katuba too, he doesn't sound interesting. Because you know there's just that person that is always teasing you. But Barrister Lamide, you've seen the story. Did I share you the video?
No.
Oh, okay. We played the video of Lɪධᴇ. I think for those who are just joining you, let's just play it so that you can get the effect once again. The Nigerian actress Lɪධᴇ and what she said about marriage in a podcast.
Anyway, because I been married 5 times. It is not an issue. In fact, I won't even.
Is it because your religion allows that?
No, our religion does not allow a woman marry multiple times. But if I don't get it right, I don't get it right. If it's not coming right, it's not coming right. There's nothing I can do. I just have to. I won't keep trying anyway. So many times I've said I'm not doing this. I'm not even trying any marriage BS anymore. It's a hang. But just in case it happened in the future.
Or don't you feel lonely?
Never. I can never feel. No. I can't feel lonely.
Okay, if you're just joining in, this is Marital Matters on Mainland 98.3 FM. The time is 12 minutes after 8, and my name is Adisa Amotoyosi Akinduro. And of course, a lot of you call me Adisa the Enigma, and I have with me in the studio the maestro himself, Mr. Tᴏɪᴜᴛᴛᴇʀ Mᴜɪᴜ, and of course, Barrister Olamide Onifade. You just see her once in a while, and I was just praying hopefully she will come, and then here she is. So you've heard that video. What's your take?
I thought are valid.
I thought are valid.
Yes.
Okay.
At this stage, you can't teach people how to live their lives, and I think that life is what we make out of it. If she's happy, that's her business. If she's not, at this stage, I've stopped volunteering opinions and let people make their mistakes and live their lives the way we want to. They want to live it.
My response to is it Lɪධᴇ making a statement about has she been married before?
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
I think
Obviously, she's been married twice.
Yes.
And so she's divorced twice.
Yes, and she wants to try again, and then
So why is she trying really? Is she trying to find out if someone out there could just meet her selfish desires?
That's another. But
because she has a selfish
your
position. She doesn't want to be a wife. She need a colleague, somebody that flows into the definition of her comfort. She's looking for happiness. And so she will keep trying. We've seen many people, even in the West, great celebrities marry several times and they never just got it right. Larry King 8 times, he never got it right. So marriage is not a trial testing ground. It's a decision place. Whatever you have, you build your weaknesses with it. God will give you, if you say you are peaceful, God will give you troublesome person to test your peaceful state. Marriage is a testing ground.
You see why I like this show?
It's not about what you want that will make you happy. No, happiness comes ultimately after you've developed yourself onto a spiritual. But Marley's wife said, I met a man who loved other women. I have to grow spiritually to be with him till the end.
Okay, Mr. Kasuba, as we have married material people,
yes.
Do we have divorced material people?
I will answer that question.
Okay.
I
saw that in the comment section, and that comment attracted sub-comment about 1,000 plus, and I was like, that is true. If you have wife material